Hey everyone, this is Diabetes the Second here with Dragon Warrior Randomizer Seed of the Week for November 15th, 2020. Very quickly, the Seed of the Week is an asynchronous race hosted by the DWR community for anyone who wants to participate. Every Sunday, a seed and flag set are posted. Racers generate and run the seed anytime they choose over the next 7 days, submit their times, and results are released the following Sunday. Each week features a unique seed rotating flag set for racers to take on. All racers are expected to avoid spoilers and play the seed blind, and ideally will either stream or upload a VOD of their attempt. If you have interest in participating in the Seed of the Week, finding other racers, or trying out the randomizer yourself, see the description below for some links to help get you started. Also, shameless self-promotion, I stream DWR fairly regularly at twitch.tv/diabetesthe2nd, usually somewhere between 8 p.m. and midnight Eastern, including viewer-requested seeds and community races, with the occasional vanilla speedrun attempt on Saturday morning. We've had a lot of good races lately, been also casually messing around with a lot of wacky flags, so please feel free to stop by and say hello. It's a good time, and having an audience just makes it that much more fun. So let's go ahead and get to it now, shall we? So, I'm going to be doing some post-mortem commentary of my run through this iteration of randomized Alifgard, much like last week. We are going to show the results at the conclusion of the run, and if you did watch last week's run, the featured flag set today is going to be very similar with a few added tweaks. So again, we'll see a randomized overworld map, town and cave locations, chest and search spot treasures, enemy zones, skills and spells, and hero stat growth and spells, along with 75% requirements for XP for leveling. We'll see again Scared Metal Slimes and Repellent Dungeons, with the new add-ons this week being Big Swamp and Short Sharlock. As always, we'll address the flag nuances as they become relevant in the run. I think most of those are relatively self-explanatory, but again, we'll hit the high points as we come to them. Alright, once again, we're going to be going with a Strength HP build as we get started and see that Wario is going to be our hero for this seed, so hopefully he can wah his way to a victory. In the throne room, we have herbs and a cursed belt. No spells. 14, 11, 30, and 8. 14 strength is respectable. 30 HP is going to come in handy for Big Swamp. No spells can be a bit scary. As we head outside, hey look, that's what Big Swamp means. There is a cave right nearby. This does appear to be Tablet Cave based on the bonking. Tablet Cave, probably the most difficult cave to do dark navigation in. Looks like I'm having a little bit of trouble with it. Normally, I'm fairly decent with dark navigation, but again, Tablet is probably the most difficult of those. It is worth noting that since there are no enemy encounters here in the Tablet Cave, if you get lost, you either have to bonk your way back out or reset, especially if you don't have a torch or the Radiant spell. In Tablet Cave, we have some gold. If there's a town nearby, great. Otherwise, gold is pretty innocuous at this point. Even a torch or fairy water would have provided a one-hit KO for pretty much any enemy in Zone 0. Bigger bang for your buck, as it were. Alright, we've got dry land to the east and the west. Let's go west first. We find a droll. So this is not an enemy that would appear in Zone 0. So it appears that we're either too far west or too far south of the castle. Probably west based on my distance. There is a red slime here though. That one ran away, but red slimes would be a good enemy to fight. We need just 5 experience points to reach the second level. Red slimes give 2 per kill. Okay, metal scorpions have sleep. That could be a problem. Not for right now, but in the near future, once we have a bit more offensive capability to fight one, we will have to watch out for that. But since we didn't see the home zone there to the west, let's try going to the east this time into the desert. Again, now just one more red slime would give us level 2. Plain old slime will do it too. Alrighty, level 2. 0514, no spell. I've caught sight of a town there to the east. I'm not entirely sure why I'm not going to explore it. I did pick up an herb in the throne room, so I do have one. And perhaps I've forgotten that I had it, so we could head right into that town now. $372 gold, not a huge amount of things that we could purchase, but, you know, even a copper sword in this situation for 180 would make a huge difference in what we can fight. Granted, we've really only seen slimes and red slimes, the occasional Magidrake that would possibly dispatch of us before we could kill it. Probably a mismenu there. I don't think I intended to attack the Magidrake. Alright, looks like the town is going to be in the zone to the east. Should be the same as the zone to the west where we did see the metal scorpions, drolls, and such. But in the meantime, we pick up level 3. 111, 418, and the spell is Hurt More. Or sorry, Hurt. Hurt More would be wonderful. Hurt, though, provides some much-needed offense. So that now considerably expands what we can fight to include, for example, the Magidrakes. We've seen already Warlocks. We've already seen as well Metal Scorpions. Metal Scorpions are a little bit scary because of the sleep spell. But all of those things are now in play. The only difficulty is that with as much swamp as we have to walk through, we're going to be losing more than half our HP just to get out of the swamp block. Metal Slime! Ugh. Great find there close to the castle. Could have been an unbelievable boost. You get a Metal Slime at level 2, level 3 like this, and all of a sudden you're level 7. It's like, whoa. Unfortunately, that was not the case there. But since we did see the Metal Slime, just a quick reminder there about the Scare Metal Slime's flag. Normally, any enemy, including the Metal Slime, gains a chance to flee at a rate of 25% each turn. Once the hero's strength is greater than double the enemy's strength, Metal Slimes have 10 strength, so a hero with 20 or greater, that would apply. If an enemy is weaker, or sorry, if the hero is weaker than that, so if they're more on the same level with the enemy can't run. So in the case of the Metal Slime, since it is such a high value XP target, for it to not be able to flee and you just have a chance to wail on it, that's the reason for the Scared Metal Slime's flag. It turns off that mechanic to allow Metal Slimes to run at any point. Looks like I went ahead and redove the Tablet Cave here, I guess with the intention of porting the gold over to the town. I don't even know what the town is yet. Sure, 5 in 6 chance it's not Hawksness, so it'll have some kind of something that I can purchase. But I probably should have just headed over there and checked what's in town first. Meanwhile, we'll pick up level 4. Nothing overly exciting there. 4619. No spell. We need to get over to the town before we run out of HP. I don't like the attack on the Metal Scorpion. We nearly killed it, but we know it has sleep, and it also has Dragon Lord Breath. That's a problem. So we lose half our gold. We're down back again to 450. Not ideal. Again, we could have reached the town at level 1. We have an herb in our inventory. We got it in the throne room at the start of the game. There's no reason we haven't tried to get into this town. Oh boy, it's for Mulder. Almost a best case scenario. I mean, coal also would have been good because you can pick up a search spot right away, but we have key access here, which allows us to check the chest in the inn here, the 4 chests in the treasury in Tangical Castle, as well as the cave in the basement. So this could be a game changer, opens up a lot of checks. We'll just have to see what we find. Alright, we'll check the chest first. Burning 2 keys in the process to find... Erdrick's armor! Best possible pickup. Erdrick's armor in general is going to be realistically probably the second best thing you can find. Erdrick's sword is almost always number 1. But Erdrick's armor in a big swamp seed where we don't have healing and we're finding it just 9 minutes in, unbelievable. Sure, Erdrick's armor has tons of great properties. It reduces the damage from hurt more, you know, and fire breath attacks. It gives us 1 HP regen per step. It makes us resistant to stop spell. It's the strongest armor in the game at plus 28 defense. But it makes us immune to the damage that we take from swamp and barrier tiles. And in Big Swamp, that's the gimmick. So now we can walk around over all this swamp tile, and that has been negated. So now we are free to explore within the bounds of what our stats are going to allow. So really big priorities now are going to be just grabbing some levels, especially early on. So many of these levels are stacked very close together. You know, 82 experience here for level 5, 165 for level 6. The sooner we can pick up more levels, we gain more stats, we gain spells. We also have the checks in the castle to make. Hopefully to find some more goodies. 8, 1, 5, 11 here at level 5. Spells of Sleep and Radiant. I'm trying this southern zone here because we saw the zone to the east has Metal Scorpions, and since they do have Sleep Dragonlord Breath, not ideal. We do Speaking of Dragonlord Breath, skeletons have it too. Now we have sleep of our own. We could put both of those enemies to sleep before trying to take them out. That would be beneficial, but first we'll check the treasury and see what we have, or we won't. Because... because I forgot that I picked up keys, and that I should check the treasury right away? Possibly. Ah, we have a town here to the northwest. There was nothing northeast. Okay, level 6. The stats are pretty mediocre in the spell of Repel. The town is coal, so we have a search spot and a weapon shop to check. Search spot, can't talk to it, gotta search for it. Oh boy, Erdrick's sword. We have Erdrick's equipment 12 minutes in. This is absurd. The only thing we care about in the shop now is a shield. We could pick up the small shield, but apparently I chose not to. Really should pick up herbs. I don't have any healing. I do have a cave up here, and it looks like another town. Check the cave first. Swamp North. Alright, Magistrate here giving us the business. We have sleep. They are very susceptible to sleep. Really should take advantage of that. On the other side of Swamp is... it's an armored knight guarding the stairs. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, regardless, I guess this gives us another excuse to perhaps check the treasury this time? Hey, there we go. Should have done this a few minutes ago, but we already picked up a massive prize in Erdrick's Sword. We really almost don't care what we find elsewhere. Erdrick's Token, okay. So we have the first of our 3 quest items. Check the back here momentarily as well. Another dark cave, which will be the grave. Okay, 5 total chests in here, 3 very close to the entrance, which we're going to go pick up now. Having already found the sword and armor, like I said, I almost don't care what I find. I do need the quest items, like the silver harp, and not a second silver harp, but it looks like the fighter's ring. Fighter's ring good for 2 extra attack power. I need the quest items, but I don't need them right now. Absolutely, I need to go find a good zone to grind in. And the club there was actually wings. Looks like I am headed in the direction where I would try to full dive the grave. I mean, if I can get there, great. The enemy set here doesn't seem too bad. Droll Magi, Warlocks, both very fightable. I can try to put the knights to sleep and fight them as well. Magiwyvern, same thing. Ran away from that one, though. Oh, good. Not Dragonlord Breath, just Weak Fire Breath from the werewolf. Good odds on play there. Put him to sleep, run away. At only 34 agility, our odds of putting him to sleep are better than our odds to run. So that is a good idea. Knights, we could do the same thing. It's only about a coin flip to work, as we pick up the Plate Drachima, which is actually just fairy water. Whenever you have the chest glitch active, it does typically give some text glitches as well. Ooh, Stone Men, also pretty tough. Very susceptible to sleep, although that time it failed. But we get away. 1 chest left to find. More Stone Men. Then again, this is kind of the, not risk, but this is kind of the nature of doing these checks now when our stats are so low at a low level. We're not able to take any of these fights. We're not gaining experience points. And anytime you're exploring and moving around and not gaining XP, you know, you're kind of losing time to some degree. Granted, hopefully we will get to this last treasure chest, and at least we can check off the list that we've checked there for the things we need, but if we were to have come down here, say, 3 or 4 levels from now, you know, better stats, perhaps a healing spell, hurt more, or something like that. As we find a torch in the last chest, so didn't find anything helpful here. But those are all battles, maybe not the Stone Man specifically, but the rest. The Knights, the Wraith Knights, things that we can fight, things that we can use to gain experience along the way. Stone Man gives us the Death Warp we sought out, and we head back to the King and back outside. So again, top priority, find a spot to grind. We found a couple of zones that seem okay. Where are we headed? We did see this other town. That's fair. And it is Cantlin. Okay. The only thing we don't have equipment-wise is a shield. There's a large shield here in the first shop. We do know that gold was found in the throne, or in the treasury, so a gold grind is available if we find a silver shield. Pull up on keys here and check the middle chest. Sorry, the middle armor shop. No shields at all. One more shop to check, and then we can look for coordinates. Aha, so there is a silver shield available here in Cantlin. So whether or not that comes out of a, you know, death warp out of the mountain cave, I can force one anytime I want out of the grave at the basement, but likely picking up a silver shield in this one. Coordinates, 2 north, 45 west. That's not far from where I am, although it is south, which there is a coastline there. I'm not sure if I can access it unless I can loop down west of Cantlin. Looks like I'm going to go home right away and check. There's not a specific urgency to do so, but if it happens to be the stones, then I'm done. 2, 5, 3, 18 at level 7. Spell is... I'm taking notes, trying to write down what my coordinates are and my stats. Okay, it looks like it was the spell of Repel. Sorry, Return. We got Repel at the last level. Okay, there is coastline here. It looks like we can't go all the way through. We did find another cave, but just taking quick notes on what my count is and where exactly I am on the map before checking the cave, which is the Jerk. Okay, so the Rainbow Drop Turn-In is actually right here close to home. So once we find the stones, do the staff exchange, we'll be good to go. Popped into Cantlin there, really should have picked up some herbs. Didn't do that the last time through. Also didn't do it at Cole earlier. Herbs would be the only source of healing I have. Good idea to have a full complement of them at all times. Alright, final dead end there to the northwest, so it does look like either there's just going to be a long loop around here to the south and around, or the coordinates will be on the second continent. Wyvern's a fantastic target. Fortunately, they have sleep. Hurt, though, is fairly innocuous, especially with Erdrick's armor. Star Wyverns, though, much too strong. We do get away, though. This is really where those herbs should come into play. Also, we have the sleep spell. Wyverns are relatively susceptible to it, so it would not only prevent us being put to sleep, it also prevents us from taking all this extra damage, potentially putting ourselves in danger. Danger. Uh-oh. Yikes. So that's a bit of an unforced error. Kind of a compounding of not picking up herbs a few minutes ago, and just, I guess, forgetting that I have the sleep spell. Looks like I'm going to try to force a gold grind here out of the grave. It's an okay play. My stats are still fairly weak. I'm seeing some enemies. The Wyvern there, for example, I'm not defense breaking yet, despite Erdrick's armor. The shield with 20 more defense points would put me in that range, so I don't... This is fine. Knights having Dragon Lord Breath is a bit irritating. That's new. Okay, well, don't fight knights unless you put them to sleep first. Or have hurt more. Got it. And very quickly abandoning the idea of picking up a silver shield right now as I miss menu return instead of repel. Looks like we're heading back to the southwest. Again, I think the intention here is, can we loop around here to where we saw and counted across the water earlier? Just the direction this is going, it looks like it's going further and further to the southwest corner. My answer is probably going to be no, but you really can't be sure. Wolflord is another... It's another good enemy to fight at this point, but again, it seems to have a bit of a trolley moveset here with Sleep and Hurt, very similar to the Wyvern. Pushing the exploration absolutely is not the priority now. I know that's what I'm doing, but it absolutely should be level grinding. Level grinding, whether it's gaining new spells, it's gaining new stats, is only going to make the exploration process faster, easier, and with less risk. Cave here is the staff turn-in. Alright, so we are down to just identifying the Stones of Sunlight and finding Charlotte Castle, the last two things we have to do. I thought this was going to be a dead end here to the west, but it does appear to be a one-tile-wide bridge. Not sure how far it goes. Well, it goes somewhere. Another Magi Wyvern, not an unreasonable thing to fight, but really needs to be put to sleep first. Again, we don't have the defense for this. Which I apparently realized too late. And took another... not great death. That's a little frustrating. And again, in both of those scenarios, taking advantage of the sleep spell that we have, and if we were to have picked up herbs earlier, as we should have, both of those fights would have been significantly safer and, frankly, just easy XP. We would already have level 8 by now. Speaking of which, let's take a look at what we get for level 8. Whoa, big level, 14-7, 17-7. Spell? Okay, outside, yeah. Also hurt more. That would have been good about, oh, I don't know, 90 seconds ago against that Magi Wyvern. And smartly, as we should have done 10 minutes ago, picking up herbs here in Cantlin. Now, different scenario in terms of forcing a gold grind out of the basement, in terms of trying to do overworld exploration. we now have a whole additional set of enemies that we can take on. Golems are not one of them. But we are much, much, much safer now to go out and explore. But really, again, level grinding is the priority. Good choice here to go ahead and take a look at the swamp tile. Unfortunately, it's a red dragon. One of the things that we really can't fight. And it looks like it's going to send us back to the castle yet again. Now kind of getting frustrating. Again, we've taken 3 deaths in the last 10 minutes or so. We've gained maybe 150 experience over that time frame. Spent a lot of time walking back and forth, which is by far the biggest time sink in this game, just your slow walk speed. And it looks like I'm going to, once again, head to the basement with the intention of forcing a gold grind. As I said, I think the play is a little bit better now. We have Hurt More, we also have Outside to very quickly egress after we pick up the 3 chests. Certainly better than coming here a level earlier. Alright, while we're getting the gold grind underway here, just a quick note on a couple of the other flags. We've already mentioned Scared Metal Slimes, which we saw last week as well. The other flag we saw last week was Repel in Dungeons, and that really comes into play now that we're picking up a Silver Shield here. So Repel, as a mechanic, works in such a way that enemy encounters are restricted when the enemy's strength is less than that of the hero's defense power. Now that's only active on the overworld map. This flag in the randomizer expands its coverage to include Caves, Hawksness, and Charlotte Castle. So picking up the shield now will repel a few more enemies on the overworld, but perhaps more importantly in the late game, depending on our agility, will likely begin to repel some of these Charlotte enemies on our dive. Not only does it take those enemies out of the pool, perhaps they have dangerous abilities, but it also pulls them out of just general encounters, so that we're not having to waste all that time with those extra encounters on the way down. So we did our full gold grind. We did not save, which, considering we have Hurt More, we have really good equipment, we've already seen the enemy set in these zones, nothing overly dangerous, I think that that's fine. Although we did have some issues with doing a gold grind and dying last week. And we've also certainly done a lot of exploration of the overworld so far, as we encounter the Armored Knight, which is now infinitely more fightable with the Hurt More spell. The big swamp flag turns about 75% of the overworld into swamp. And again, if we hadn't found the armor so soon, that could play a massive role in our ability to explore and really move around throughout the seed here. Alright, we're really motoring now with Hurt More, level 9. 13-3-0-13. Looks like Stop Spell. Still no healing. Hoping to actually get across the swamp cave this time. We got as far as the stairs before, and here we find the back of Garinham, so we were just one tile, one step away from reaching this earlier. So not only would we have gotten access to these 3 chests, but we could have activated a gold grind as well, and gotten our silver shield much sooner than we did, without a dedicated forced effort to doing so. Here in Garinham we found a cursed belt, the fairy flute. We have seen a few golems about, so that not insignificant. And a magic key, which, if we hadn't found Remolder so quickly, would also have given us key access. Gonna bypass the shop here. We already have all the best equipment in the game, so no reason to check. Like I headed there southeast into the dead end real quick because I wasn't sure if this land area was what I was looking for to continue the count earlier. It's not. But with so much of the overworld covered in swamp, it very easily can be confused with other land formations. So, looks like we can travel both west or north. Appears that we're going to head north first for continued exploration. We do find a cave. It's the Stones of Sunlight Cave. So freebie chest contains just some cash. At this stage, cash is effectively worthless. The only thing we're going to be buying over the course of the rest of the seed is going to be a couple of intrips and some herbs, but as long as we have a couple hundred, we have more than enough. We do see another town and a dead end up here. Town is either Hawksness or Breck. It is Hawksness. So this is actually a really good find right now. So we have another search tile. This could be the stones, could be the death necklace. And this is the Axe Knight. Perfect. We have hurt more. We needed a level grind spot. This is it. Search tile, unfortunately, is empty. But Axe Knight, we've been looking for a grind for probably the better part of 25 minutes. We just found it. Fantastic timing. Very quickly bouncing up to level 10. 3-9, 3-3. Again, no spell. So we're still lacking a healing spell. So that really kind of becomes now the question mark of how far does the grind go at this point? We've already found everything with the exception of the Stones of Sunlight. Possibilities for where things could be at this phase. Mountain Cave. Overworld Search Tile. That's it. So it's in one of those 6 locations. With only 68 HP, Death Necklace is not all that concerning at this point. But we don't have healing, and that's critical. So I think grinding up to the point that we pick up a healing spell is actually going to be what we need to do at this point. Exploration, even with 68 HP, we haven't seen anything tremendously dangerous. We've seen a few enemies that have sleep, a few enemies that have Dragon Lord Breath, but generally lower tier enemies, or things that we can easily take care of with Hurt More, for example, the Knights. So exploration would also be fine. 3, 1, 15, 3. Again, no spell at level 11. It doesn't happen too often, but it actually looks like our limiting resource here in Oxness is not going to be our hurt mores. It's actually going to be how many herbs we have left. We're quickly running out of ability to heal here. And we can heal walk, as we are doing right now with Erdrick's armor equipped. One more Axe Knight will give us level 12. And another opportunity for a healing spell. Level 12. 5, 3, 4, 0. Again, no spells. So the grind continues. Now, again, the decision point here, we'll see what I choose to do momentarily. Exploration is not out of the question. But this is such a fast grind, it really would be nice to at least pick up a healing spell before moving on. Stats are not so high that I'm concerned that I'm going to be ready to win at level 13 or 14 or something. But this so far has been a pretty lightning fast seed, considering Big Swamp. Alright, filled up, back on herbs, re-healed in the inn. What direction do we head? It looks like we're heading west, so exploration it is. Looks like we can continue to go south there a little bit. That might be a dead end. Further here to the west, we have Charlotte Castle. Okay, that was one of the things we needed to find. There's a town, the only one left is Breckenary, so that's really not important at all. It's so close to Charlotte, maybe that'll be our jumping off point. Grinham is also fairly close. Ah, we have our cave, so this is going to be Mountain Cave. It's the only thing we have yet to find. We know this zone will have the same enemy set as we saw in the Swamp Cave. Armored Knights. I think we saw Badge Wyverns as well. Chest number 1 is empty, so that was an herb. Whenever your inventory is full of a particular item, so for example, full on herbs or full on keys, it'll show up as empty. It'll also show up as empty if it was a unique item and you've already picked it up. For example, the stones, the harp, the token. Second floor. Torch. A torch is not the stones. Now at this point, if the stones are here, we know that the Death Necklace will be on the overworld map. It's the only other unique item left. Gold and a key, so not there. On the other hand, if the Death Necklace is here, we know that the stones are on the overworld map. If neither are here, stones on the map, Death Necklace in Charlock. And it's another torch. So the last of those options seems to be the case. Stones on the map, Death Necklace in Charlock. At 87 HP, I really almost don't care about the Death Necklace unless I pick up 50, HP. It's not gonna matter. so I'm not super worried about that. Now, this is another decision point, so the only thing left to check is the overworld search tile. I have not located that land area that I counted over across to earlier in the game. So I either have to explore and find it, or I have to rescue the princess by saving... Or I have to save the princess by defeating the red dragon. At this point, without Heal More, I don't think that's feasible, so that means, do I go grind with the intention of doing that? Or do I explore? And I think... Wait a minute. That land looked a little familiar. Aha! I found exactly where I counted to earlier. Good timing. Otherwise, I probably was going to walk into Breck, heal, and get back to the grind. But instead, we get to continue the count, and we don't have to deal with that red dragon at all. Should be a few steps south here, and we'll pick up our stones. There we are. So all the quest items acquired. We already have Erdrick's equipment. So once we turn in for the rainbow drop, we are officially in grind and go mode. As I confusedly walk back and forth, also now realizing, yep, that's all the things. Go, get your drop, get back to the grind. If only it were Final Fantasy and we could just paddle across the 4 tiles, that would get us back to the Jerk Cave. Alrighty, rainbow drop in hand at 44:48. Headed into coal for reasons probably just a mistake. Probably meant to hit into the cave here. So looking at the stat profile right now, strength and agility kind of on the low side in the 60s, HP also lagging behind here in the 80s. Again, we're only level 12. Sometimes you'll see a level 13 finish. Just based on the numbers, it's looking like it's probably going to be at least 14, 15, possibly 16, possibly more, depending on what comes. We're also still looking for Heal More. 2, 4, 7, 11. Still no healing spell at level 13. In fact, the healing spells are the only spells we don't know at this point. Stat-wise, we picked up a couple of Heal Mores at that level. HP into the 90s, which is good. Still a few short from where we'd usually like it, but passable. But again, strength and agility lagging behind. We never did find a dragon scale throughout all of our adventures, so we pick one up there and equip it. Good for 2 additional defense points. So now within a defense over 80, we will start to defense break and repel some enemies in Sharlock, so any additional agility we gain is only going to make our Sharlock trip a bit faster. It is worth noting now that we're into the end game phase and talking about Sharlock that the short Sharlock flag is in play for this seed. So what that means is, unlike the vanilla game, where Sharlock is a 8-floor gauntlet, a real trek to get to the final boss, we're going to be entering on the bottom floor, right from the outside. So the first 7 floors completely eliminated. We're immediately at the bottom, so it takes away significantly the need for survivability over the course of the entirety of the Sharlock dive. So agility being in the 60s at this point isn't as concerning, although again, if there are lots of things like armored knights, red dragons, etc., they can still be problematic and burn some of our resources, but not necessarily as many as if we had to traverse the entire castle. So that is worth keeping in mind. Next level here at 5625 experience, so should be pretty quick. Pretty good streak of one-hit KOs here on the Axe Knights. Heard more is about 2/3 chance to kill in one shot. I jinxed it. I jinxed it in the past. Alright, level 14. 5300, no spell. Sorry, we did pick up a spell. But not heal more. It's heal. So at least it's something. It's not what we needed, but it will help us get there. So the grind continues. And you can see just how quickly these levels are accruing. It's not going to be quite as fast as the 9 to 12 was when we were here the first time, but we are very easily going to go from 13 to probably 15 here just by draining the rest of our resources. Level 15 at 7,500 experience. A little over, let's see, that would be 11 more Axe Knight kills. Might have to get creative and take a few out the old-fashioned way. Yep, burning up the rest of the years. We're going to have to stop at the shop anyway because we were not full. So we'll do that instead of casting heal. Again, looking at the stats right now, 116 attack power, doing only 4 to 8 damage versus the Dragon Lord. We would probably need a good 15 attack power to really put us in range, along with a little bit more HP and hopefully a little bit of agility. We also still need heal more. We don't have that yet. Getting a little bit dangerous here. Perfectly timed excellent move. Alright, we need just one more Axe Knight kill for level 15. Alright, we got it. Barely, but we got it. Okay, level 15. 14 big power. 4, 5, 4. And no heal more. Level 16, here we come. Now, we are guaranteed to learn Heal More by level 16. When you have randomized spell learning on, the randomizer will guarantee giving you all of your spells by level 16. So, Heal More will be at the next level. Looking at the numbers now, it's borderline, but, you know, 7 to 15 per swing on the Dragon Lord. 11 on average, 16, 15, 16 attacks to win. 14 Heal Mores. We're ready. But we don't have Heal More. So any additional stats we gain are just going to make it easier and more guaranteed. But we should very quickly be able to dispatch with the Axe Knights to do so. Alright, we refilled on herbs and head back to the inn. Uh-oh. I'm headed west. That's not good. Now you might be thinking, did he forget that he doesn't have Heal More? He checked his spells, does he not see that? And the answer is, yes, actually, I do recognize that. What I had forgotten to account for, though, is that this is short Charlock. And I think my intention was, I have pretty good defense, I have reasonable enough attack power, I'm defense breaking half of Charlock at this point, I can dive, pick up the level on the way. Failing to account for the fact that in short Charlock we only have the one zone, and it's probably pretty unlikely that I'm going to pick up a full level, you know, over 2200 experience points, just by walking around this one floor. So I quickly decide to dip out and get back to Hawksness to finish the grind. So unfortunately, this is probably at least a 2-minute time loss here, possibly even a little bit more with the walking back and forth. We did fight at least a couple of decent enemies, the werewolf there, the wizard, the Droll Magi's not too bad either. But certainly, the grind up here with the Axe Knights is so fast and so efficient that I'm not even sure, even if this were the full Charlock, that that would have been the right play. Alright, we see 55-50 heading back into the Axe Knight grind. We'll see just how quick this goes. The level 16 should be a virtual lock at this point. We didn't see anything scary in our brief foray into Charlock. Alright, just kind of letting the grind speak for itself. Not much to really say. We've already talked about the math, we've already found all the things, it's just a matter of finishing it out. This Axe Knight will give level 16. $13, $1, $24, $4. What a level. Spell, we didn't check it, but it is indeed Heal More. So we are more than ready to go at this point. Again, we talked about last level being a little bit borderline, but definitely doable. 15 attacks, 14 Heal Mores. Now at 143 attack power with an attack range of 10 to 21. Looking more like 11 attacks, 15 Heal Mores to win. Virtually guaranteed we could burn like 6 Heal Mores across the one floor walk and still be fine. NPC, get out of the way, thank you. So let's go win this thing. Alright, we entered Charlock just about the 1 hour mark. You'll notice there a staircase that's not there in the vanilla game. They're just outside the treasury. And that is an added stairway for Short Charlock to allow access to the vanilla sword chest. Just in case some key item happens to be there, the randomizer does provide for you. It doesn't want to lock you out of anything, so there is that. There's also a very, very rare instance where perhaps needing to do a level grind or something, that does give access to the middle zone in Charlock, otherwise you'd only have access to this bottom zone. We quickly dispatch with the Armored Knight on this spike tile here, and head into the Dragon Lord fight. Phase 1 being very friendly today with the double stop spell. We didn't need it to be that generous, but we appreciate it. So Dragon Lord Phase 2, the real final boss, opening with 18. 18 again for 36. $49. 20, so 69. Pretty good swings so far. $83. $100 even. $115. Now, Dragon Lord has a max HP between 150 and 165, unlike the vanilla where it's locked at 130. 125. It is randomized per seed, so it's different seed to seed, but it is the same for everybody running this seed. So it's not one person gets lucky at 150, somebody else has to deal with a 165. That's 141. And 156 was enough. So Dragon Lord rolled low, or at least in the lower half of his HP pool. We escape the castle, return to Tantagel, report to the king of our valorous deeds in slaying the evil Dragon Lord, and Wario returns a hero. I mean, the princess is still in a cave somewhere, and, you know, whatever. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. So, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Not too bad. Pretty good, in fact, I would say. Lot to be happy with during that run. A few things that I think could have gone better. Starting with the good, I think probably the level grind, once we found the Axe Knight there from like level 9 to level 12. It was fast, it was efficient, it was very well timed. It expanded our stat pool. It allowed us to explore more safely, more efficiently. Great move there in staying and sticking around and picking up all those levels at that point. Again, I could have ground further, but I think it was fine at that point to do the further exploration and finish up finding everything else that we needed. Other good thing happened right after that. Counting of the coordinates over the water. Again, can't overstate, especially in a seed like this, where the red dragon was the hang-up. Until you have heal more, there's definitely not a guaranteed win in that fight, especially with relatively low HP and strength that really didn't perk up until the last 2 levels. So we could have been, you know, trying to save the princess and walking her back to the castle, and then coming over and using the Gwaelin's Love to GPS for that. So that definitely saved probably a few minutes. Bad things, we saw a lot of it early on. There were a lot of early deaths. Not using sleep, not doing an early grind. We died to multiple wyverns. We died to a magic wyvern because we didn't put it to sleep. You know, we took a lot of deaths early on. We also tried a gold grind probably a little bit sooner than we should have. And I think the other thing was also leaving the grind early there at level 15 and forgetting that this is short Sharlock. And also, I think that the right play would have been to grind the last level in Hawksness, even with the full Sharlock ahead of us. So, again, room for improvement, but lots of things that we did well as well that probably helped us out and get a hopefully reasonable time here. So, that said, we have the results. Let's go ahead and let's take a look. How did we do? Boom! I am very surprised. We took the top spot. I was expecting to have done well, I was happy with the run overall, but I absolutely felt that there was a lot of room to be better. I figured we'd see a few sub-hour times. With as many deaths as we took, and the things that I said already, but also factoring in that we explored a large percentage of the map, and we checked everything. We full cleared every dungeon, we checked every chest and search tile in the game in order to get the things that we needed, so if anybody was able to skip some of those things, that's time save. That's just pure time save. The bottom 2 chests in the grave had nothing. Mountain Cave had nothing, you know. So, I was very surprised. Then again, you think about it as well, early armor and sword pickups were huge, especially the armor in this seed. And that really stems from the ability to do dark navigation in Tablet Cave. If you think all the way back to the beginning of this one, not diving through Tablet Cave in the dark meant you didn't pick up the gold chest. No gold chest means no key access in Remolder, at least not as early as we got it. No keys mean no armor, and no armor means a very difficult exploration early on, especially with no healing spells until level 14. So when you think about it in that context, it's actually, you know, a really good thing to have done, and it really is. Again, I'm not the only one who does dark navigation, so I still think I'm pretty lucky to have finished as high as I did on the list. But I still think that that was a great performance. I'm very happy with it. Again, especially with a lot of great names on this list and a lot of very talented runners. Notice we have 21 runners this week, up from 19 last week. I'm happy to see that. Again, some new names, people that not only are jumping into the randomizer and into the Seed of the Week for the first time, but those who haven't even raced with us live yet. So it is great to see that. So that's going to do it for this week's Dragon Warrior Randomizer Seed of the Week. If you enjoyed the content, please feel free to like the video, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel for more. As I indicated earlier at the top of the video here, definitely come over and visit at twitch.tv/diabetes2 for more Dragon Warrior Randomizer and other similar gameplay. Always happy to have folks around. Again, we do viewer requested seeds, races, and things most weeknights, sometimes on the weekends as well, plus the Saturday morning vanilla speedrun. Also a reminder to check out the description below for more information on the randomizer and the DWR Discard community if you too are interested in the Seed of the Week, running the randomizer yourself, joining some races, or finding some other racers to watch. Until next time though, this is Diabetes2. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care.